I'm trying to compare a couple of different machines and feel the lymphatic flush, like just feel the power behind it. I'm going to set them all at the lowest setting. So, I mean, this one you really feel, this one's a 900 watt motor, and it's a little shorter plate, so you really feel the push up. I mean, you feel in your hips and your waist, you feel the push behind the plate. I'm going to go try another one in a second and compare them. But this one's a very, very strong. Even at a low hertz, I can feel like being pushed up. Okay. I'm going to go over to this next one. And that one was at 11 millimeters of amplitude. This one is actually, it's a larger plate, but it's 10 millimeters of amplitude. So this one just, and I've been on all these, but this one is a lighter feeling. You don't really feel that push or that weight. It's kind of like a force behind the movement. This one's I guess you can almost say it's like a little more shallow of a movement. You don't feel a whole lot of, you feel rocking, but you don't feel a lot of push or a lot of force behind it. Okay, and I'm going to try this one. This one is also 11 as opposed to 10. This is 11 millimeter. It's almost really between the two. This one has a little more force than the other one because you're going up to 11 millimeters at the same speed. So we're all going the same speed. All of them are going the same speed at the same time. But the one that was going 10, I can put my feet out there. The one that was going 10, you didn't have as much force. This one's a little more force. I would say that the first one that I was on, you felt it a little more. This one's a 500 watt motor. The other one the first one that I went on was a 900. You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference. This one, it's more than the second one, but it's not quite as much force. Even though my feet are spread out a little farther, it's not quite as much force behind the movement, but close, but not quite as much. So I would go with the Hypervibe for lymphatic flush at a lower hertz. Between the three of them, I would go with that one for lymphatic flush, what I can feel just standing at the lower hertz. Okay, a lot of people have bad back problems and they get on these machines and it's really jarring in their backs. But like the Hypervibe here, I'm sitting on the Hypervibe, and this is a really high hertz machine, and a lot of people are like, oh, this is such a lot of vibration, this is too strong. But actually, like, all you have to do, like, nobody stands on their heels. Nobody stands on their heels and jumps rope or does stuff like that. So all you have to do is stand here, bend your knees, and you'll get all that vibration, and it doesn't hurt your back. It's actually like soothing to your back. Like I'll show you. So I'm going to put it at 6 hertz, 7, 8. I'm going to go to 14. This is what most machines go up to, 14 hertz. Okay, but you really want to go to 20, at least 20, if you're wanting to build bone density and really engage your back muscles. So if you're standing on your heels at 14, I mean, that's okay. But if you want to go to 20 or above, standing on your heels, I mean, you really, it's like you can't stand. But if you just bend your knees, stand up straight and bend your knees, or even lean back. See, I feel all the vibration going up my spine, and I can stand on it. So I wouldn't be afraid to get all these machines. That's what you want, over 20 hertz or above. There's a lot of machines out that have 20 hertz or above, like the Vibe 460 or the Hypervibe that I'm standing on. So if you just stand 20 or over, like I could even go to 25 hertz, and if I bend my knees, it doesn't hurt my back, doesn't hurt my knees, and I feel all that vibration in my back. So I'll turn that off so you can hear me. So, you know, if I had a bad back, I would recommend, you know, the Hypervibe 460, although that's, you know, very expensive. The Hypervibe is a lot less expensive, but it feels very much like the Hypervibe 460, and you'll get over 20 hertz. This goes to 28 hertz. So that would, I mean, I love this machine. That would be what I would recommend if you had a bad back. Everybody's saying, like, do I need a bigger plate if I'm a tall? And it's a little deceiving because, like, if you look at these, the Hypervibe always looks like it has a small plate because there's a lot of base or a skirt around it compared to some of the plates that are 27 inches. There's 3 of them I'm comparing. So I'm gonna measure the plate size, the actual, because this is a 27-inch plate, but it's 22 footprint. The footprint is 22, the foot space. So it's 22 inches, and this is a 500-watt motor. Okay. And this one right here, which is also a 27-inch plate, it goes to 24. It's 24 inches because it has a smaller border around it. And then the Hypervibe, which it always looks very like a small little plate, but when you measure it, I'm gonna measure it right here. It's 22, just like the one over there that had the 27-inch plate. It's the exact same foot space, but this one has a 900-watt motor. So this one you're gonna feel, like when I've had people over here and got on this and they're like 275, 250, 275 pounds, they feel more G-force. They feel more power, you know, standing on the Hypervibe than they do on something that's 27 inches with a 500-watt motor. Even though this looks smaller, it's the same. It's the same footplate. It's the same amount of foot space. So, you know, between all of them, it's so deceiving. It looks so. It's like an illusion. It's like an illusion that looks so small, but it's actually the same. It's actually the same.